this video, I'm going to show you how to do different types of increases and decreases. Actually, I'll probably just teach you two different kinds of decreases. But the increases I have here are knitting into the stitch below, and that is knitting into the other side of the stitch below. So you'll see that they face different ways. And then this is an SSK, which is a slip knit. And this is a K2 tog, which is knit two together. And here we have make one left, where you pick up the strand between two stitches and knit it through the back loop. And then this is a make one right, where you pick up the strand between two stitches from the back and then you just knit that stitch. So I will show you the first two increases, and I'll also show you two types of decreases in this row. So here we go. We're gonna knit 3. In this swatch, I have a 3-stitch garter border to prevent too much curling from happening. And then we're gonna do an SSK. So that's slip, slip, as if to knit, and then you put them back onto your needle, and then pick up the yarn and pull it off. So that's a slip, slip, knit, and that's a way to decrease without having twisted stitches. And then we're going to knit 3, 2, 3, and then we're going to do a knit into the lower right hand side of the stitch below. So I pull it loose, and then I'm going to pick up yarn, and then I'm going to knit the stitch, and that just turned one stitch into 2. And then I'm going to knit 2, actually knit 3, and now I'm going to knit into the left side of the stitch that was below the stitch I just knit, so like 2 rows below. Pick it up, pull yarn through, and then 1, 2, 3, and right here I'm going to do K2 tog, which is basically knit 2 together. Just put your needle in there, bring yarn through, and slide both of those off. And then knit 3. So on the back side, I'm going to just knit these 3 stitches to continue garter stitch. So garter stitch is where you knit on both the right and the wrong side. Then we're just gonna purl till we get to the last 3 stitches. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll skip the purl sides after this one. This one I just show that to you. Alright. And I knit these last 3 stitches, and you can see the knit stitches are little V's, like someone wearing a scarf or a collar, and these are little bumps, and then like someone wearing a turtleneck. And then I'm going to show you again the SSK, but then I'll show you a different type of other increases. So remember, slip, slip, slide it back on the needle, pull yarn through, and lift off. That's an SSK. 1, 2, 3. Now this is going to be a make one right. So, oh, that's wrong. All right, so I pull it up from the back. Ignore what I said there. So pull it up from the back, lift it off, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. And then here I'm going to pick this up from the front and then knit that through the back loop. So you can see the way that loop is made, that's what makes the stitch look like it's leaning to the left or leaning to the right. So basically just twisting the stitch one way or twisting it the other way makes the illusion of a stitch leaning one way or another. It's really just creating a stitch. That's all it is, but you want your knitting to look consistent and look a certain way. So here we have knit 2 together, slip off, and 1, 2, 3. Okay, so here we have some increases, here we have some decreases. I'm gonna come back around to the right side again and show you a yarn over, which is fun. All right, we're going to learn how to do yarn overs, and here you can kind of see a yarn over makes a hole. So I did one row of yarn overs and then I came back and did a wrong side. So I'll show you how that looks on the right side and how that looks on the wrong side. So 1, 2, 3. Let's do an SSK. 1, 2. Slide that back on. Pull yarn through. And then 1, 2, 3. All right. Make a yarn over. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make a yarn over. 1, 2, 3, and then K2 togs. Those together. 1, 2, 3. So a yarn over is just that. You put your yarn over the needle and then you keep knitting. So that creates a stitch, but unlike these stitches right here, it's not a closed fabric. So this is what makes kind of a lacy stitch, which adds a cool effect on your sweaters as well.